lakad matatas!
Normally.
Last picked up by iG.Vitality. What do you make of that?
I love it. I think DK is just solid hero. It's exactly what I was talking
Do you still
about.
love it now that the Huskar comes out?
I'm fine with it. I don't think the matchup is... You will absolutely have to, and you will need to win big fights. Because otherwise, it's just going to be kind of sad. Mid lane, actually, Summer and Dolphin going at it, but both will be fine.
Ukio is going to be the first one, and Helios. Yeah, and so far, well, the ease of execution in the lane stage doesn't really show, but the nuke damage is there on the Phoenix's Crystal Maiden. Barely manages to provoke him into one more dive and more things then.
Really surprised Crystal Maiden has a build like that. With double frostbite and 0
On
points in
top,
Crystal Nova.
Field Protector now got caught out of position, trying to do a little bit of pre-wave manipulation, and instead all he gets is TZY right-clicking him to the face with that slow. And
I think all heroes currently are fine, but there is an aggression in the river. Oh, I think
Field
it's
Protector,
that.
well, yes, so much for all heroes being fine. Not anymore, SJ. Probably going down. Then again, the Leech Seed at least kept him alive for a lot longer than Huskar really expected.
His attempts to save this tower. I think they might actually go for it. Oh, Dolphin.
Yeah, now with the Dawnbreaker, it's suddenly no more laughable as Huskar. He just dies. Holy crap. One level 3 Celestial Hammer followed up by a Starbreaker. That's a ridiculous amount of burst damage.
Bottom lane, Summer surviving with Dragon's Blood and not tier 1 tower. And I wish they kind of concentrated on tier 1 in the top lane, the usual tower you take away from the enemy, simply because this mid one, Vitality will not give it away. The top one,
yeah,
they actually
also
might.
against living armor, anytime you don't actually fit with against the Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker gets stunned up and looks to still not be able to get any return kills. LMF will go down, almost getting the morph, but almost not quite good enough. Now maybe at least the Crystal Maiden will go on down, and Rubik looks for more with a Stolen Starbreaker into a Stolen Fire Spirit. So that waits for the fate.
Yukio made a massive mistake. He should...
And enemy lines kind of Solar Guardian can be set up, because that is a huge synergy, of course. Solar Guardian with the Phoenix to dive and give you a target to jump to.
I'm not sure it was worth it. TZY now being gone on in the bottom lane. Yukio actually going for the Requiem.
A nice Requiem onto 2, and there is that Solar Guardian coming in as well, making absolutely sure that the Huskar is dead here with the Shadow Fiend's amazing amounts of damage. And this Supernova will explode on Doom. Doom goes on down. That's a 3-for-0.
Down. Blink heads are ready. They start with Huskar. Huskar is immediately followed up, and he's just dead, right?
Yep, that's an execution more so than an actual team fight happening, at least for the time being. But Doom is just gonna self-love the Shadow Fiend. When it comes to having that armor reduction and everything, I just think he gets out carried by all the other meta carries right now. Crystal Maiden goes on down, trying to set up a good freezing field, but really only ends up chipping away at them. At least he creates space for the Morphic, try chase down the Phoenix. The Phoenix manages to get himself up the high ground, and now it's that Fontaine could be in a bunch of trouble, has to make sure he survives there, but Dragon Knight catches him, and that's the first kill on the Morphling. Just as weird.
I feel like having at least a value point in ultimate would be nice. But there is also the fact that he didn't go BKB. They will have to settle for a Phoenix kill though.
I think they're still, you know, happy with any kind of kill you can get right now. Because LBZS, they just need to delay the game and prevent iG.Vitality from winning fight after fight. Because Shadow Fiend, he does rely on Snowball more so than actually out-carrying anyone. And he is gonna get himself a nice kill on the Dune, thanks to that Solar Guardian coming in, actually making that 2 kills with another. Sure, iG.Vitality are gonna try and fight into this pit, but they will jump the Crystal Maiden first. Crystal Maiden is gonna go down. With the Supernova now being committed, Huskar once again can't finish the road. And I think they may just throw the game. It's now Helios has to run for his life, but he just goes down.
I mean...
Power spike for the next 5 minutes in favor of iG.Vitality, just thanks to them really not learning from their mistakes here. Because IGV, they have been so on point. Now Huskar gets zoned out a little bit, leading to a kill on Helios to start things off with, but LMF may die for that. Forward comes the Dragon Knight, waiting for the rest of his team to rejoin, and there is the Shadow Fiend coming in with 2 righteous kill of the Huskar. He went for that Silver Edge really early on, just to make sure you have... Yeah, do they kind of have to rotate him in? Well, he has Skadi now. I think he can come on in and fight here.
I mean, they have to wait for Doom. It's 30 seconds until Doom, and they are losing heroes left and right. I think CM is mostly relevant. This middle lane was gone already anyway, so Morphling is doing the only right thing. He's just pushing the side waves.
He's just kind of caught in that negative spiral. Maybe if the Morphling comes on in, because Fonte, he has had a fairly decent game so far. They are going to be able to turn this around, but you got to wait for the Huskar first, so this is the last real timing to fight for LBZS, and they're going to try to whip an amazing 3-man stun from the Doom, and the Doom coming out on the Dawnbreak, but look at the damage Dawnbreak takes to that play, and now Dolphin jumps him in and dies immediately after, thanks to Shadowbeat having a BKB and just ignoring all of that magical damage, and the last kill of the game, perhaps even, is going to be that Rubik as GG gets him called.
And Fonte is still farming. I have to say, him not joining his team during the Roshan is a little bit... I feel like it might have been...
I freaking love that suggestion. If it's not a CK, then something... Oh, that I too love, actually. I mean, there is a lot of heroes that aren't too great against this game, and I think we're gonna see a game number 3 here. TZY position 3 co-op with none other than Helios Tusk. It's such a sick synergy. You're gonna see a very dangerous lane unfold here. If it's not already gonna be a first step getting set up, and it's exactly that. It is extremely risky if a support suddenly comes over to the mid lane. Like, if both teams rotate over one support at that rune timing, Nature's Prophet has to play so freaking carefully doing this. But right now, it is making an amazing amount of space, and over on the bottom lane, Fonte, he gets nuked down. I think the Hoodwings always switch from playing passive to playing aggressive, or Hoodwing at level 3 in general.
Imitator is really good at landing his shots, and he will also prevent... Ooh, that was a play and a half. He blocked...
Look over at the top lane, though, as there is another brawl going on at the same time, and it is already a kill onto SJ there, but they want to follow it up with Helios, and now this phase is void. Suddenly is the side of LBZS, but iG.Vitality, they flex the whole skill build on the void to make sure they cannot dive you with the tag team at level 2, and I think that's why they took 1 point time dilation, just to prevent dives. Now a 2-man Kronos here comes on out on the Queen of Pain, and TZY, does he get lucky? Nope. Bash RNG says he still's gotta die, and Helios will. Queen of Pain, she has completely missed her level 6 timing too. And now neither of your like important cores are available to really carry team fights just yet. Morphling is gonna try committing onto LMF here, and it's gonna nuke the Death Prophet. But Helios, everyone is gonna underestimate that spirit damage and feed the Death Prophet. Now there is the Exorcism and the Hoodwink just waiting for the snowball to connect. We have the perfect push swag. It's LMF. Oh yeah, another thing, in the current meta, I think people should be building the Death Prophet Aghanim Scepter a lot more. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh boy, wait a second. Death Prophet could be in a bunch of trouble as it's not ultimate on her. And with the Queen of Pain ultimate, they're gonna get her.
Okay, so there was a bit of a moment here. Oh, Imitator, nice bushwhack.
Yeah, that was a big bushwhack. I thought that was just gonna be Imitator dead, but he will make one. And you still have the Queen of Pain ultimate, so if you just insta-kill somebody at the start of every team that those 2 big ultimates, like they just insta-killed the Nature's Prophet, then you're gonna feel fine here. But, well, while Nature's Prophet does die and you're really happy with kind of killing off your opponents, currently, I think most valuable carry, because Death Prophet doesn't scale as well that you need to shut her down right now, and Face's Void is nowhere near online yet. Oh boy. And
hard to imagine how he makes it back.
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Well, they will get a kill on Imitator, which isn't enough to get a Morphing back into the game, but at the start, if only they wouldn't lose Helios for it. And once again, it kinda ends in a trade. Fonte walks into the Roche pit and Death Prophet, okay, no, they do realize he's there, but just a tiny bit too late as Fonte manages to walk out of there. With that Exorcism committed, they may want to be looking towards the Roche pit over on the mid lane. Nature's Prophet, he is about to die and he is gonna go down, but thanks to a 3-man Chronos here, Void will get at least 1, if not 3 follow-up kills. That's number 2 now with a dead Queen of Pain, and Ukyo, he is going 5.5. Yeah, and now it's gonna depend on iG.Vitality making a big ass mistake to come back into this game. Instead, Disruptor is just gonna be melted for now.
Top lane. Co-op actually has Witchblade. What do you think about that?
I like it. I think it's way better than the Spirit Vessel. One of the reasons Nate Cross is picked here. He is generally one of those carries to play with, but killed here by Tiny. He goes into the Roach Pit just as the Roach falls, snatches the Aegis, and Death Prophet with her ultimate no longer able to stand her ground. Tiny loses the Aegis immediately and is now still caught in the Roach Pit, but the Sharpshooter flies exactly between the two. Still with the Chronosphere onto both of these heroes. It is gonna be 2-0 as Imitator is denied, but they did kind of have to give up the Roach Pit for that. And now a follow-up kill still onto this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I also think that if it ever goes late, going for an Aghanim's on Disruptor could be a big difference maker. Because right now, Ukyo he just presses BKB and doesn't care, right? He gets to kill Dolphin. That's going to be an easy pick-off. But it was BKB committed. And if there's suddenly no BKB available...
Weird happens, or that you get punished in another way, right? It's always a bit of a trade that you have to ask yourself carefully, is it worth it? If that turns this around, this game is almost over, but there's a two-man Chronosphere coming out by the Faceless Void, and look at the damage he's outputting with the Death Prophet and the Hoodwink behind him. Now, down goes the Tiny for that, but Fonte, what do you do now? Well, you run for your life. Out comes the Snowball, which is gonna put Fonte far out of position. Imitator goes on down, making sure the burst damage from that Sapphire, from the Hoodwink, I mean, is no longer available. And Queen of Pain gets herself away with a sliver of HP thanks to a tiny buyback, as now Death Prophet will be the return kill for that. Your carries just die from a lack of support coming out from the Nature's Prophet if he doesn't take a lot of farm away from them instead.
That was the longest chase in history. They basically followed Disruptor across the map, and they ultimately get this kill, and they do delay this Aghanims a little bit, but mind if he went BKB instead.
Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, BKB isn't bad, but it's not like Void really needs it right now, because look at him just frontlining and not giving a hoot how tanky he is. Once he gets that level 25 talent, now he gets the BKB out, kills the Queen of Pain. It's Queen of Pain kind of got greedy when in reality Ukyo was just kind of holding off his other resources. A nice tree comes flying through, but Imitator dying. Is that going to be enough? Well, maybe. With now LMR going down as well. No Chronosphere available. A 2-for-2 so far. And Tusk is sitting at very low health in the tree line. The Street Protector tries to abuse. Takes a bunch of damage to the face for. Gets snowballed on. And with the waveform should probably be. Wait. Oh my god. He survived thanks to really, really lucky ice shards.
And no vision.
In comes the Tusk with the Walrus Punch. But Void jumps forward, jumps the Morphling again, and well, how do you cancel the stun turn? Okay, he is gonna be able to Manta in time, but while that's happening, two heroes already died. Now, finally, they're gonna take down the Death Prophet forward. Void still doing work left and right. It's gonna start hitting the Tiny some more. Gets glimpsed back though, and that's gonna be his first life finally taken apart, thanks to a lovely play from the Disruptor. Summer, once again, kind of got his positioning messed up by TZY being exactly where you don't expect to get a Pain. And now the Faceless Void has to carefully get himself out of there, but they know he's the only one alive. They will glimpse him back once again. And Ukyo, he just keeps on running and running with the backtrack talent, but he can't keep this up forever. And he is finally initiation attempt. But Death Prophet, she really just wants to press Exorcism and hit the rack, except she gets kicked back by the Tusk. Has the Spirit siphon it up. Void comes on through as well, trying to hit the rack. Faceless Void doesn't Chronosphere available, presses the BKB and jumps onto two with the Disruptor and the Queen of Pain getting targeted. Queen of Pain, she does not have a spell at the ready, finally gets the BKB out, is able to take it out, and the Void dies to the Morphling instead, as there was nobody in position to keep the Morphling off of the Void. The Rex are finally gonna fall. Nature's Prophet trying to teleport out, he cancels his own TP, and now the Walrus Punch comes from Screw. They are gonna kill off LMF to end that fight. Void keeps being as big a pain in the ass. At some point or another, Void picks up more damage, otherwise gonna be able to total kill. But this time around, Ukyo will secure himself the Aegis. And, well, they still have a bunch of Death Prophet ultimate left to push top.
Oh, Exo.
And with a follow-up Overgrowth, it's just gonna be an instant free kill on the Task forced the buyback, getting in position with the rest of the team, but everyone on the side of iG.Vitality still wants to fight this up. Tiny just right click down, but he got two tier 4 towers.
So it's a bit annoying, but oh, nice initiation by the Imitator. No buyback on Helios, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Helios' buyback has already been used, and with the Faceless Void, Aghanim Scepter, he is just gonna be an easy kill. That is almost 2 minutes, no task. And the Radiant Tiger to go.
Linken's broken. A chance for Morphling to turn into Faceless Void. TZY gets out.
And it looks like Imitator is still very much gonna go down. The engine is gonna be the main target, but Void, he first wants to hit that Chronosphere in the face of Tiny. Tiny still alive, but not that long. And there's yet another Chronosphere. Over on the front of that lane, Morphling is now gonna go down. Has to buyback as well. But that's the thing, even if they buyback people left and right, the combos aren't ready, the synergies aren't ready anymore. You only get those once every 30 seconds or whatever. And here's the point where we pretty much all know where the game is gonna end. And it's really just the Morphling showing up. Death Prophet is gonna go down. And so is the end.
That's